Hello, welcome back again to another insightful video. I'm going to talk about narcissist. It's quite difficult. It's very difficult to be in a relationship with a narcissist. Yeah, to be in a relationship with a narcissist is quite difficult. Narcissists are people who don't give up. Who don't give up in relationship, in arguments, especially in arguments. Get me right. Their motive in a relationship, especially in argument, is not to make concrete decisions. It's not to know what's wrong or what's right. Their motive is just let me win in this argument. Whether the narrative is positive or not, it doesn't, they are not concerned about that. I just want to win this argument, and they can be very derogating. Get me right? Can cause a lot of emotional breakdown, because you can't be in a relationship with your partner. You're trying to discuss things, and unfortunately it led to argument, and in that argument what your partner wants to focus on is how to win the battle, how to win the argument, rather than bringing concretive concisive decision, making concisive decisions to the betterment of the relationship, or making sure that things work out in the relationship. It's uncalled for. So when you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you have to understand that this person is a narcissist. Get me right? And how do you know a narcissist? I've just explained who a narcissist is. This person who doesn't want to give up in an argument, who just wants to win an argument. If it's wrong or right, I just want to win this argument. They're always looking for opportunities to create an argument, to infect you with their own decisions, their own perspective about certain things. I don't care, and they don't care if you have the right perspective towards that such a thing, such an argument, such a face, or whatever. Get me right? So now, how do you win an argument with a narcissist in this kind of situation? Stay calm and detached. What you should do is give out your own narrative. Don't make it look like you're arguing with such a person. Don't make it look like you're arguing with such a person. Get me right? Just be calm. Understand that yes, I want to make an impact. I want to make sure this argument leads to something. I want to make sure that the decision we make in this argument is for the betterment of the relationship. Stay calm and give your concrete decision, your concrete perspective, your concrete idea about the particular thing you're arguing about. Get me right? Don't attach emotions to it. Let it be concisive. Let it be straightforward. Let it be plain. Get me right? That is how to win an argument with, a narcissist will try to manipulate you, into believing things that you are not supposed to, that are not really, that clear of. I don't know if you understand the point I'm trying to make. A narcissist will make you believe that A and B are the same thing. No matter how you try to prove a point, they want you to believe that A and B is the same thing. Whereas A is on its own, B is on its own. A is very different from B. But the narcissist will want you to believe that A and B is the same thing. All you need to do is to stay calm, lecture the person. The person will try to be manipulative, but don't let your emotions, don't throw out your emotions. Just be on the right side. Just be calm. Just know what you're doing. Get me right? That is the first way to win a battle against narcissists. A narcissist they don't like direct confrontation. Avoid direct confrontation. If you want to speak with a narcissist, get me right, if you want to speak to a narcissist, go in a plain manner. Go like you know what you're about to say. Go like this is a fact. Now, let me tell you this. You're in a relationship with as a woman, a relationship with a man who likes argument, or as a man, you're in a relationship with a woman who likes argument, and for the fact, and for real, you know that this person likes argument. What you should do, what I will tell you to do, there are so many ways you can communicate with your partner. You should be able to understand your partner. You should be able to know the angle in which your partner dislikes some certain things or likes some certain things. You should be able to know that my partner loves to be treated this way. My partner loves to be talked to this way rather than this way. Get me right? Now, if you don't want argument to transpire between you and your partner, confront the person in the manner that which you know that this person will not get angry in this manner. There are so many ways to go about it. Probably you could check when he's in a happy mood. Get me right? You can check when he's in a happy mood and confront him that moment when you know he's happy. He will not try to bring up any argument. Most narcissists, most people who are narcissists, they dislike direct confrontation. Maybe you have something to discuss about and you just go direct, like as if you were planning a war with him. Most narcissists, they dislike direct confrontation, and try as much as possible to avoid it because it's going to cause argument. And of course, you don't want to go through that emotional feeling of trying to prove your points and everything. If you know it's something you can avoid, just avoid it. Get me right? Just avoid it. Anything that will cause any direct confrontation, just avoid it. You should be able to understand. I always tell people, you should be able to understand your partner, know how to talk to your partner, know how to communicate with your partner, understand the things he dislikes, understand the things he likes. If he doesn't like direct confrontation, don't go direct because it's going to cause issue in the relationship or in the marriage. So narcissists, they don't like direct confrontation. It's going to cause arguments in the relationship. That is just it. Another way is use facts and not feelings. Use facts and not feelings. If you're arguing with a narcissist and you discover that this person is a narcissist, it's all about winning the argument, whether it's wrong or right. The person is all about winning the argument. All you need to do is make sure you get your facts right. Forget about feelings. Don't attach feelings to every argument, to the argument to what you're arguing about. Don't attach feelings. Make sure they are facts. If the person is right on what he's trying to do, fine, take it like that. You lost the argument. But if you feel that you have your facts right and you believe that this person is trying to be a narcissist, he doesn't want to be on the losing side, he wants to win the argument whether right or wrong, state your facts. Let your facts be plain. Let the person understand your facts. He might be trying to be manipulative, trying to make you feel like what you're saying is the wrong is the wrong thing to say, is the wrong perspective. You have your facts. You know your facts. You know that you are sure that this is the right thing. Be plain to it. Be on it. Be straightforward to it. Don't let him manipulate you to switch over, to his own perspective. Get me right? If you know your partner is a narcissist, make sure you set boundaries because they are manipulative people. Get me right? They are manipulative people. Each time they will try to manipulate you to come to their side, to be at their side. They'll try to manipulate you into their own ideas, into their own objectives. So you should be able to set boundaries. Setting boundaries in a relationship is not a bad idea. As a matter of fact, it helps you escape so many things that can happen in a relationship, so many issues that can come up in the relationship. So setting boundaries is not a bad idea. Try as much as possible to set boundaries. If not, you will always be having conflict in that relationship. That's just the truth. You will always be having conflict in that relationship if you don't set boundaries. And make sure your partner adheres strictly to those boundaries. And don't set boundaries that commonly, you get me right? Commonly that these boundaries are something that will affect the relationship. Don't set boundaries that will affect the relationship, but rather set boundaries that will save the relationship. You get me right? That is just what I would say. Set boundaries to avoid conflicts in the relationship. Don't try to win every point. You cannot be Mr. Perfect. You cannot be Mrs. Perfect. Yes, you cannot be Mr. Perfect. You cannot be Mrs. Perfect. Don't try to win every point. Now, let me clear you on this. You are the person that, though I told you a narcissist like to manipulate person, they like to, make you believe that what they are telling you is the actual fact. Know that is one of the characteristics of a narcissist. Get me right? But if you're trying to prove a point, to a narcissist, you cannot be 100% right. Get me right? You cannot be 100% right because even though they are manipulative, they still have positive things about them. They still have idea about certain things, in a relationship or in general knowledge, or things that you're arguing about, or things you want to discuss about. They still have, knowledge about those things. So if you're trying to prove your points, he also is trying to prove his point. That is why I said in the beginning of this video, I said, state your facts and let your facts be plain. Let your facts be actually correct. That is what I said. So if he's trying to prove his point and you're trying to prove your point, make sure these points are the actual facts. You get me right? Make sure these are the actual facts. Nobody can be totally wrong. Nobody can be totally right. You get me right? You state your fact. It states its fact. It has there's an atom of what do I say? There's an atom of truthfulness in whatever he's saying. There's an atom of fact in whatever he's saying. There's also an atom of truthfulness and fact in whatever he's saying. So you cannot win every battle. You get me right? Just know at the back of your mind that you cannot win every battle. That's just it. You get me right? One thing about relationship is accepting that you're wrong. Yes, accepting you're wrong is one thing about relationship. The narcissists don't like to accept that they are wrong. You get me right? Even if you stated your points, stated your facts, inwardly they know that what this girl is saying or what this lady is saying is actually correct. You get me right? But they will not want to. They don't want to be a victim, in the argument. They don't want to be in the losing side in the argument. That is why they don't accept that they are wrong. Just let them be. Let them be. They like to push the negative narrative, and when they are wrong about those negative narratives, they don't like to apologize. It's the fact. It's something about narcissists. So and this is a big problem in every relationship. When you're wrong and you don't accept that you're wrong, it can cause a lot of issues in the relationship. If you find out that your partner doesn't like to accept that he's wrong, probably is definitely wrong, you should just focus your attention on how to solve that problem, because this is a big problem. When somebody doesn't accept that I'm wrong or say I'm sorry when the person is wrong, it's a big problem. That word, those three words, I am sorry, is a big problem in most relationships of today. Try as much as possible to work on that. If you have communication issues with your partner, if you have compatibility issues with your partner, or whatever issues you have with your partner, for the fact that the person doesn't acknowledge that he is wrong and say I'm sorry is a big problem. Focus your attention on that. If you have to call family members or whoever is close to able to talk to him about such a situation, you have to do that, because the moment he starts doing that, is a big problem. The moment he doesn't do that, is a big problem. Doesn't apologize when it's wrong, is a big problem. And narcissists are fond of that. If you're in a relationship with such a person, make sure you avoid, clear off that particular issue with your partner, so that you have a smooth relationship. Get me right? Though narcissists would like to be manipulative, like to push negative narrative, but if he later find out that the narrative I was trying to project in this relationship or in this argument was definitely wrong, then he apologizes. It's a big plus. It's a very big plus. But if later he realizes himself that this thing I'm saying is a wrong narrative, then it's an issue, and he doesn't apologize, it's an issue. Okay, right? So work on that. And also know when to walk away. If you see that you are trying to prove your point and it's not working out, know when to walk away. Just lead them to their own narrative. Lead them to their own thoughts. Later they will realize themselves. If he's matured in person, if he's a mature type of person, later he realizes himself that what I actually said was a wrong thing. So if you're trying to prove your point and he's not willing to accept it for the fact that yours was correct and he is wrong, his own perspective is wrong, stay away. Just stay calm. Let the argument go. That is really what he wants. They want to win in every battle. But if you're trying to prove your point, he doesn't want to accept that he's wrong, just forget about it. Just let it go. Later he will realize himself that yes, what I was actually doing was the wrong thing, or what I was actually saying was the wrong thing. Okay, right? So you don't have to force him to accept you at that moment. A mature person will likely, after realizing that this thing I said was very wrong, a mature person at the later end will come to you and say, oh dear, the point we are trying to prove was actually the correct one. I've gone through it again, I've reasoned it again, I've had a second thought on it. Yours was the right thing. These are matured people. But the childish ones who, they don't care, they care less about it if it's wrong or right. They just want to win. They've won that battle. That's their joy. You get me right? So the last one I want to say is focus on your well-being. Your well-being matters. Your mental health matters a lot. You not want to prove a point to somebody who is not willing to accept it, and in the process you begin to affect yourself mentally. Your well-being begin to affect yourself. Your well-being begins to you begin to affect your well-being. Your well-being is very, very important. Focus on your well-being. Remember that continuous arguments with a narcissist can be very, very draining, emotionally draining. I will not want you to meet somebody who is a narcissist, who is strong in narcissism. It affects you. It affects emotionally. It can be emotionally draining. So focus on your well-being. What you can, the narratives you can push to him and he will accept. Fine. If he doesn't accept, fine. If it's something that will affect you, draw people's attention. That these steps, we argued about it. Tell people. Don't be afraid to tell people, but make sure there are people who can be trusted. Make sure maybe family members who can be trusted, friends who can talk to him on your behalf. If it's an argument that you know that this thing will affect the narrative he's pushing at, the narrative he's working on will affect the relationship, and you don't want it to affect the relationship, you could call people. Please help me talk to my husband. The things he's saying, the things he wants to do, the arguments we're having together that he's trying to push a negative narrative will affect this relationship, and I don't want it. Let people talk to him. In that way, you can also relax you have your sanity in order. Your sanity is very, very important. Your well-being is very, very important. You get me right? So this is what I want to say about a narcissist, how you can win battles with a narcissist. In case you find yourself having a relationship with a narcissist, these are the steps you can take. These are the things you can do to have a smooth relationship with anybody, probably a narcissist. If you've not subscribed to this channel, subscribe to this channel, share this video, like this video. Please like this video, for the algorithm, YouTube algorithm. Like this video, drop your comments. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.